Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I want to do another experiment and perhaps a nice painting comes out of it, perhaps not. In all of my videos and in general the key factor for fluid art is consistency. And normally I would always preach that the consistency of every color needs to be the same because of the pattern not breaking up, because of drying, etc. Unfortunately I mixed a very liquid silver. And I thought I could either thick it with another bottle of paint basically, or I could test what happens if I put a base layer of very liquid color, in this case silver. I wouldn't know why any other would behave differently except that this is metallic, but okay. And then leave it relatively thick, and on top of it put a normal dirty pour with the normal consistency a color should have. I'm just going to use some pink and green and a little bit of white. So I'm going to put the dirty pour into the cup and a thick layer, also a relatively thick layer of this in the base. And then I'm going to check and have you look at what happens. Eventually everything just going to slide off because the base is so thin that it's just going to go wheek, wheek, and be all over the place and gone. But we will see, so I'll be back with the mixed cups. Okay, so I covered the canvas with my very thin silver. Of course that is even more difficult to see on camera, everything now, because it's reflecting even more the lights because of the metallic. In the middle it's relatively thin, here not so much, but I hope that I'm gonna tilt it all over the place. A little problem occurred while I put everything in the cup. There were lumps in my paint, so if I like it I will need to pick them out. Why did that happen? I think I used a very old pouring medium mix that I had, and it seemed okay when I mixed it, but at the end in the glass that I keep it kind of thickened up, so only when I mixed it sounded good, but then it suddenly made blob and I had a bit blob in there. Okay, I'm gonna pour it over this now. I'm only going to pour it relatively in the center because then I can tilt it out. Probably. Okay, so I can see this thicker paint basically swimming on top of the very thin paint. It looks a little different than it normally does because now it did sink in, but you can already see the different consistency if you look very close on the painting. There's not really silicone in this, but I just wanted to get some air bubbles out. See one of the very weird lumps. Let's get them out before I start. It was only in the green. So if you have something like that, get it out before you start tilting, because then it can mix up again. So something else, yep, ick. Really bad. But this is what you sometimes have, so I have to deal with it, right? This looks okay. Yeah. Like I normally would do and advise is don't tilt ziggy-zaggy, tilt in all directions, to go from one side to another, etc. I'm gonna try to do that in the same speed I normally would, but I'm expecting it to quickly slide on the thin paint. And there's another lump as far as I think. Yeah, here. It's like slime. Yeah, I can't keep it anyway because it's full of lumps, but what I want to do is simply show you with the consistency difference what can happen. Gonna keep sliding it around a bit more. Perhaps it's gonna get some clearer for you because I can see it already. See this fucker, sorry. You see here, this is sliding. The thicker paint is pulling the underlaying layer base with it, and what happens here is that it also frees up the canvas again. So if you have white and a white canvas, it's eventually not so bad, but here I can see through the silver, the canvas, but what I also see is some kind of a weird slingering effect here, like it's on an oily thing. So it's giving a very weird effect, and it's not really an effect that I like. It looks broken. Basically, it is not working well together. You can also, I actually don't know if you can, but you can see how the paint is breaking up. It's like pigments, or the paint pigments are breaking. And of course, I know I'm now also moving it a lot, but I'm just trying to see how it develops. So yeah, the really weird thing is these things. I don't know how good you can see this. It's like a spider web a bit, but more like it's swimming on top. So yeah, I think it's not a good thing. An example of why your paint should have the same consistency and why you should have not lumps in your paint. I hope this helped you to understand eventually why your paintings sometimes look weird, that you might not have the right consistency of all the paints together. And I hope to see you back for the next painting or experiment. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell. Bye bye.